Hello, travellers. Welcome to the Jade Frog Tavern. Grab a drink and come warm yourself by the fire.
Happy Halloween!
Woo!
Spooky, 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 boo!
Yes, and welcome back to the Jade Frog Tavern podcast. Ooh, how are we feeling today?
We're feeling juicy, we're feeling fruity, we're feeling pumpkiny.
Pumpkiny, yes. Look at them. Look at them in
Look
all
at
their
that big
glory.
boy.
And I have some little bickies for us as well.
I know, you can't
Chocky,
not
wocky
be.
bickies. Yum, yum. Oh, I really want a drink. I want that drink so bad.
Let's go straight into it.
What's happening with the drink?
So this week we have I have a name this time. We have the Sanguine Sour.
Sahaween.
Sanguine.
Sahaween.
Yeah, so
it's fun to say.
It is very fun to say.
Sahaween.
I think it's Sanguine or it's Sanguine. Ah,
It might
fuck
be
it.
sanguine.
It's probably Sanguine because that
Yeah.
means vampires, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sanguine's still fun though.
Sahaween.
Sanguine. Yeah, Sanguine Sour. Apologies.
Okay.
Fourth time's the charm.
I still like it. So yeah.
And
Sahaween.
it's the Serrano. We've got tequila. We got cherries.
Ooh.
I think agave. I don't know. I wasn't there when it was made. I was in the toilet.
Making the cocktail in the toilet.
Oh, I didn't make it. God forbid. No one wants my cocktails being made. That's why we don't do it.
Yeah.
If we go to my D&D games, we know why.
True. Very true. Okay, well, let's have a little drinky doodah, shall we? Oh,
I was just...
that was
Sorry.
quick. Hey.
I wanted to cheers without the straw because I knew the straw normally taps yours or something. So I was just
I
going to
would
remove the
hate
straw.
that. That would be awful.
I know,
I
right?
wouldn't drink it if it did that.
Never
Cheers.
again. Make me a new one. Cheers.
Mm.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Just like, oh
Yes.
yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
So-
yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, you can feel the tequila coming in.
That's
you get,
lovely.
Yeah, all the different
It's definitely
Alcohols.
just a juicy, fruity tequila
tutti frutti.
sour.
It's good. It's good.
It's a good... Yeah, I feel like I've had something similar out, but I don't know when
Out
or
and
where.
about. Probably at Postles. Maybe.
The dreaded place.
Postles.
Dun, dun,
Where all
dun.
the cocktails go to die.
Pretty much.
Just remember having. I like that popcorn one that they have though. I don't know if you ever had that one.
I did not have that
The
one.
popcorn one is top tier. It's really good.
I always just used to get the zombie because
Oh.
it had all the alcohol in
It
it.
was.
And obviously when you know everyone behind the bar, they just do it for free. I'm like, I'm getting my money's worth here.
Oh god, yeah, they are angry. Those things. They were so good.
Yeah,
they
I think
light
I-
up at the top. Of
Yeah,
it,
with the passion fruit and the vodka in there.
though. Yeah.
And then I just palm off that to someone else.
Just throw it out while it's on fire.
Yeah,
Some
exactly.
of that.
Yeah, I really don't like your outfit. Cute.
It's awful. Die. Screw you.
I'm going to move that slightly there so you can see the baby pumpkin.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you can see it over them. It's not like they're towering over the baby pumpkin.
Well-
but that's fair enough. Fair enough. The baby pumpkin
Then
is
also
valid.
from my angle, it's going to appease my OCD-ness of his a perfect little line of symmetry.
Let's flip it all.
Not the table.
Fuck you, little pumpkin, you bastard. All right. So what are we talking about today?
Today we're just doing it's ready for Halloween season, so we're just going in and we're just talking about all of our favourite horrors
Ah, yes.
and spoops
The
and
spoopies.
horror themed shit
Excellent.
because I'm not the best at true horror.
True horror.
Because I'm a big ass pussy.
Well, yeah, and the bartender isn't really into his horror too much either.
We get it in there, like because I like my psychological thrillers and
Yeah.
I like the little spoops.
And well, you go to Primeval as well.
Yes, that's something that's
Your
it's great.
yearly Halloween event.
That's my birthday gift from
Yeah.
Sir Liam.
Sir Liam a lot.
Sir Liam. Yes, exactly. He's been taking me now for like 4 or 5 years.
Exactly, yeah. So
And-
you like your spookies.
Yeah, it's great. I love getting the scare actors giggling at me.
You just like to make them feel awkward, don't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, pretty much. It's great. Especially when you're in like the clown section, you fall over and they're just stood over you in a ball pit, and you're like, "Oh, this isn't a fan fiction I haven't read about."
God. I could just, I can only imagine how awful you are to those poor workers. Yeah. I'm gonna scare you. I was like, ooh, go for it.
Go for it. I like it, Daddy.
yeah, just awful.
I did make. There was quite a young actor there.
Oh yeah.
Well, obviously everyone's over 18 to be there. Blah, blah, blah. Well, actors wise, because they're working and jizz. But there was one who was in like they had a hillbilly. Section where they're like, we're gonna cook you and eat you up, and it's a party for my brother's sister's aunt. Which is it's one of our favourite ones.
Yeah.
And we were going through a section, and he was shouting at us, telling us we were walking too slow to like hurry up. But he obviously said you're slow.
Yeah.
And with the accent on and everything, I honestly to God thought he went, "You slag."
You're not allowed to call me a slag.
And I just turned around and was like, "She just fucking called me a slag." And he was just like, "It's not in the guidelines, miss. Can't call you that." And I was just like, too fucking right you didn't.
I was like, they stepped it up this year.
Yeah.
Jesus. Straight up calling me a slag.
I know.
How did you know? How did you know?
Literally what Liam turned around and was like, well, she is a bit of a slag, so it's fine.
It's right, you guys can say it, so it's fine.
Yeah. I was like, he can say it. You can't. You don't know me, kid.
Excellent. Well, yeah, horror is one of my favourite genres, for sure. Many times watching lots of horrors with my sister, Bethan. Because my oldest, Kelly, she hates zombies.
No.
That's one thing she's scared of is zombies.
Yeah, see, I'm not a fan of zombie films either.
No? Oh, okay.
Like, Jake loves zombie films. They're like his favourite type of like horror-y thriller films.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't vibe with them. I've seen a few and I'm like, cool.
I'm done
now.
I love a good zombie film. But so we're gonna talk about some
We're gonna do films, TV shows, books, video games, of course.
Books as well.
I know, I'm so excited about books.
I know. Well, yeah, I've got a few books.
I know you do have some beautiful books.
I've actually read things in my life. I know it's hard for people to believe when I'm just like, I ain't gonna read nothing. But I used to love reading. But that was long ago.
Should we start with books then?
Yeah, let's start with
they're probably our
books.
shortest section.
Quite possibly. I've only got 2 in there.
Oh,
so.
okay. It's going to be one of my longer sections.
Well, I mean, it could be longer. It could be longer,
always.
But yeah.
Always.
We'll drivel on forever. I can't wait. Do you want to go first then?
Oh, I've got a few. Let me just get into my little note page because I have a shit-ass memory. So, I'm going to start with the big classic. He is technically manga, not books. Then the rest of them are normal
Backwards
books.
books.
Yeah, backwards books.
Yeah.
Is a very, very high, top-rated Japanese Junji Ito, and his is just profoundly beautiful horror. He has 3 main like trilogy books, which is Tommy, which was the first one he did, which is based on like a succubus killer monster, and she's great, but she doesn't just hunt at night when you're asleep, she just hunts
all the time.
All the time. She's just gunning for you. And then there's Uzumaki and Gaio. Gaio's my favourite.
Yeah.
Because it's the one with the spiral faces. I think I've mentioned this before.
Yeah, are they these all black and white sort of?
Yeah, books? All hand.
See the guy who's got like a thing on Netflix now.
Yes, that's what that's all based on. All of his books, and he is to me pinnacle of horror.
Yeah,
his stuff fucks me up to the core.
It's getting me right now.
I know, it really. My utter favourite one is literally they're in a mountain and there's a whole village, and if you look at the mountain, everybody's like T-posing shape is so as soon as you're born, the mountain will move and grow to have your shape inside of it ready for you. So if you walk, you will constantly have an urge to go to the mountain, and if you go and you find your shape, you'll walk into it. And it's one of those things where the mountain, as you walk further in, it slowly stretches you out. And so once you get in more than like 5-10 feet, you can't get out because it's distorted you where you can't move backwards because your arms and legs are just...
Oh, that's really odd. I like that.
And it's because it's like a real thing that could happen to you. Like it's... All of his stuff are based slightly on truth.
Yeah.
And... Obviously, your eye can't just start suddenly spiraling like some of his others. That can't physically happen.
Is the illustration just beautiful?
It's hand
visceral. And,
It's never too it's gory without being
Sure.
like gory, because it's just black and white, hand drawn beauty. I can't. He is top tier to me. He's my number one
Yeah.
horror everything god.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'll have to check him out because I do love me some manga, especially the beautiful stuff.
Yeah, you can get him. My friend who's done most of my tattoo, Jess.
Yeah.
She has his big chunky ass collection where it's got
Oh,
all of the
wow.
books in one. You can get it at like Waterstones and stuff.
Has he got a pretty extensive series then?
They're like his 3 big chunk books.
Yeah.
With loads of short stories in.
Oh, nice, the short stories.
Yeah, they're all short stories. The only one I believe that's long form that can be read as a big one linking story is Uzumaki.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all of them are just short, simple stories.
Very good.
And they're just, I could gush about him all day.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, well I'll have a little gush about Stephen King then. He's my
He's
top
great.
horror writer, but specifically It was the one when I read it. It scared me when I read it, and I don't think I've had any other book apart from the other one that's in my thing. It really kind of be like when it lets your imagination, you can just see it in your head, and you just like, oh my god, because the descriptive powers that he has are so intense that I could just see it all in my mind. I was like, oh my god, yeah, this is really getting to me.
Yeah, fun fact, I've not watched it or read it.
No.
I can't do... It's not the clowns I can't do. I don't know. There's just always something that's put me off it.
That's a shame because
I know it's amazing. I've had so many people tell
the
me.
book
to
is
read it.
incredible, and I think it is better than the
Oh,
film.
yeah, for sure.
But the first film is still really good. Like when they're
okay.
kid actors
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, yeah, they really nail it, I think. But the one later on is still good. It's just a bit. It's just not as good.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
of course.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'd audiobook it, and I used to listen to a lot of scary pastas
Oh yeah.
at my old job when I worked.
Creepypasta stuff.
Creepypasta, not scary pasta, sorry.
Spooky pasta.
Spooky pasta. When I used to work in a
Usually.
warehouse by myself,
Oh,
and I used to have
right.
them in my headphones with audiobooks, and now I've just like I've ruined myself. 'Cause that was when I was in my pure horror section.
And mess you up.
I'm just like, why? I could be listening to these when I'm at home, or at least driving in public with people. No, when I'm alone in a giant warehouse doing an evening shift.
In the dark.
In
yeah.
the dark, perfect time.
That's right. And then
What-
you go on to a murder mystery sort of thing. This is better.
This is so cozy. Crime drama. Real life horrors.
Standard stuff. So yeah, Stephen King, he's up there for me, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
He's one of my movies is a Stephen King one.
Oh, very
And it's
nice.
not it.
Oh.
Ooh.
So what you got next for bookies?
Okay, books. I might just spam because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. But I'm just going to spam them out because none of them I can't gush about them as much. They're all
Okay,
just
sure.
good, fun reads
Yeah.
if you like horror-esque thing, because none of them are like pure horror. They're like dark fantasy with scary elements
Sure.
in them. So if you like fantasy books with a bit of action in there,
These are the ones.
These are the ones you should listen
Check
to, and
them
they're
out.
some of my top favourites.
Cool. Let it rip.
So we have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, which
Okay.
came out last year, and I'm currently reading the second book in the series.
I think you told me about her, yeah.
Yeah, and it's basically a kind of inspired by like tarot cards and magic. Yeah. And so the main descriptor of the book that I'll just leave you with to give you a hint of it is that the two were together, so the two were the same. The girl, the king, and the monster they became.
Oh, yeah. I remember this one you were telling me about.
Yeah.
That
It's-
sounded really good.
It's spooky, it's dark, it's gross. It's just the first book is just about this guy in a
Yeah.
head who's evil, and yeah, that's all I want to say about that one because I don't want to spoil
No,
it. 'Cause
no.
it's too good.
That's awesome.
I'll do the next one, which is called Along the Razor's Edge, which is Rob J. Haynes, which
Okay.
is about. I think you might enjoy this one. It was a little struggle to read because it was a bit intense.
Yeah.
But it's essentially about this little girl who's been put in a prison in the pits, so everyone's down mining. And it's literally, you can't get out, and if you do anything out of behaviour, you'll be abused.
Nice.
And it's just her escape story as an 11-year-old
very
girl,
cool.
and the twists in it.
Yeah.
Normally I'm pretty good, because I've read a lot of books now. I'm normally pretty good at getting the twists, and I think she did
It
shit.
blindside you.
Yeah, she is a perfect morally grey character. She fucked, like, her friends up. She's
Does what she needs
getting
to
out
do.
to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
out. She will do anything, and there's 5 books, I believe, in this series.
Cool. And have you read all of them?
I've only read the first one because I only read it, I think, last year. So it's in my TBR pile, which, forever. Never gonna get through. I'll get through them because I loved them.
Yeah.
But it was gritty, it was dark, and it was gruesome. Oh,
delicious.
It was tasty.
Delicious.
Then we have a light one, which if there's any Warhammer nerds out there, I read quite a few Warhammer books because they're just fun to enjoy the lore.
The fantasy is insane, and there's so much history lore in there.
Yeah, especially with all the guys playing it. I enjoy watching them play it, but I much prefer just reading the lore books. But this one is called Dark Harvest by Joshua Reynolds.
I think I know this. I've heard of this one.
I've got it downstairs.
I've seen YouTube videos of galore about all that kind of stuff. So I think I have heard about this one.
But yeah, the book is just aesthetically beautiful. Like the edges of the pages are dark green, and the book's black. And but that one basically is about. I've written it up because I was like, I'm gonna forget which part of which company he's for and all that jazz. God. But he was a warrior priest of Sigmar.
Yes. Praise Sigmar.
Praise Sigmar forever. Now reduced to scraping a living as hired muscle. And then he receives a message from his past, and it's all about him going back to a village where everyone knows him as a warrior priest of Sigmar, and he's trying to avoid being that now because he's a changed man. And it's
hiding from his past.
And there's just the evil stuff in it. The monsters are great.
Yeah.
They describe because he's mainly fighting against the Treants.
Oh yeah.
And they are described in they're so creepy.
Yeah.
Just the creaking of woods. You'll notice the theme. I like a lot of woodsy, evil woods and that sort of dark, creepy vines. Yeah. Plants killing plants. So when you showed me Evil Dead, that fucked me up more than normally one should.
Yeah. For those who know, they know. You know.
Right, I'll spam the 2 other ones real quick.
Sure.
So, Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I know, but it's a girl. Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like there's a certain person out there who should read this book that I could recommend, who I know listens to us. But it's essentially a galactic empire upheld with necromancy.
Oh wow.
And there's a necromantic lord, and when he's coming to his end of time, when he's doesn't want to live no more. Yeah. There's 9 houses in total, which each have a different speciality in necromancy.
Yeah.
And he gets them all in a house, not a house, a starship, planet, plane thing, whatever they're called. Galactic spaceship, that's the one.
That'll do.
And he makes them basically fight to the death.
Oh, hell yeah. That sounds amazing.
It's necromancy in space. So it's so fucking good.
That sounds very Warhammery as well.
But the only warning I'd say is it has a very descriptive, flouncy. I had to Google a lot of words in it.
Oh right.
Because it's very descriptive and weird terminology that I'm not used to.
Just some words coming up like,
I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm gonna have to pause, reread this sentence, and Google it
because
the way it describes how. Because I don't do much sci-fi. I love sci-fi, watching it, but reading sci-fi, I don't know. So when they're talking terms of shit, I'll be honest, when I first read, because I had to start the book again. I got halfway through and started it again. Yeah. I didn't realise it was in space.
Okay.
So I got halfway through the book and was like,
I
thought this was just in a house. I was like,
why are they flying through space in a house?
How is this house moving? Oh. Okay, I'm going to reread this again from a better perspective.
I can understand.
I can understand half of these things of why the doors slide and open like now. Not that I thought these were magic doors.
Amazing.
And then oh no, I have another. Okay, sorry.
You're cheating.
I'm cheating. I love books.
Never gonna have my turn. Go on.
Okay, the next one is it's a retelling of a folklore thing. So if you heard the 12 Dancing Princesses,
I've never heard of these guys.
That's fine. It's basically kind of like a fae retelling of fae creatures, obviously convincing people to never stop dancing.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And it's basically a retelling of that, but done in a really dark gothic thing. So it's about this girl with her 11 other sisters, and they're starting all to die randomly, and it's her trying to figure out why all her sisters are dying, and slowly learning, obviously, you learn the retelling of all of her sisters are coming back in random dresses, and their feet are bloody, and it's
the dance of death.
Yeah, essentially.
I really like the sound of that.
That one's really It's quite a
Yeah.
really short book as
is it?
well, and that one's it's called House of Salt and Sorrows.
House of Salt. I'm gonna have to make note of that one. I think.
Yeah, it's cute, and
Dance
then
till you dead,
yeah, and it's obviously got lots of attractive men to try and keep you dancing because it's
Oh,
11.
really?
It's 12 sisters because it's princesses.
Hot boys.
Hot boys being like, here's my titties. Do you like my sweaty pecs in this clear silver shirt that sparkles in the moonlight?
Just pouring water all over themselves.
Well, kind of. So yeah, a bit of smut in there, so you get you through the death.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. Excellent.
Hey, there isn't a book that I don't read that doesn't have smut in it.
Standard.
Last but not least, this one you might like as well. It's called The Devil's Detective.
Okay.
So if you like Skullduggery Pleasant, you might like this series.
I've heard of him. Yeah,
They're
and
one of the barkeeper's favourites books. It's kind of like that. The Devil's Detective is essentially based of this detective who lives in hell, and everybody. So it's just based in hell, and it's one of my favourite descriptions of how hell works.
Yeah.
And obviously crimes happen constantly because you're in hell.
Yeah.
So
It's a bad part of the neighbourhood. Yeah.
it literally every time a crime happens with the police detective agency, it just says, do not investigate and put in a file. Because
It's happening.
It's just happening. See, but this guy just decides, fuck it, I'm just going to pick one random case and try and solve it because I've not done anything but killed people for a while.
Oh, right.
And it's just a
Say that enough.
detective thing, and he deals with gruesome deaths.
Yeah.
And it's spoopy in the sense.
I mean, crimes in hell. Yeah, it must be pretty grim.
There's some just beautiful deaths of just people being eviscerated into water, and because obviously water isn't water there, it's hell, it's fire water, so the things you can do to people's bodies and that. Just slowly put one toenail in and just watch the water sizzle up them. Yeah, it's
Delicious.
It's that one's fun. So yeah, that's all my books, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, you gotta have a splurge. You gotta go
that's
for
the
it.
things I know. And I
No, for
love
sure.
horror books.
That's why I asked if you had any books, because I knew you would, because you weren't so sure about the film side
No,
of things.
I've
so.
not got many films. That's why you can splurge at me. Sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I'll try my best not to splurge at you.
Thank you. I'll clean my face afterwards.
Deary me. So I will. Yeah. I'm lost for words, as per usual.
You're welcome.
I thought of another load of books, but but the ones I already had on the list was a series called The Deptford Mice. I don't know if you've ever heard of those. It's basically just a series of books about mice and their eternal war against rats and the rat's leader, which is a magical cat. And this shit is gory as hell.
I need that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to read
We used
that.
to read it as a kid. Like my sister Kelly, she was the one who read all the books, and she found it for us. And yeah, it goes on about how the rats would like skin the mice and wear their fucking skin and shit like that. Like the cat, magic cat, would like enchant corn dolls and stuff, and it would go murdering all the mice up in the fields and stuff. And it's just this big war that they have, and it's very nice and spoopy and just amazing. It's so underrated. I think it's one of my favorite books of all time.
That sounds amazing.
Series, that was deep in there in my psyche when I was younger. But another one which I read when I was younger was the Darren Shan books.
Yes. Yeah.
The
Again,
whole
barkeeper downstairs fucking loves Darren Shan.
Yeah. That whole series was top tier. I loved that stuff, and the whole kind of perspective is like I am Darren Shan. I'm the writer. I'm writing this from my point of view. Blah blah blah. And it was just a great story. Really, really cool story. And he also wrote the Demon Archer books as well. I don't know if you heard of those, but that was a series he did after the vampire ones, and they are like intensely way more gory and just insane, and just I remember reading the first chapter, I think, to Poppy and Roz at one point when they were around, just because we were just drinking. It's like, I'll read you this because it's crazy.
Yep.
And it just starts off, and like the main character's family is all just murdered and strewn up around the house and skinned and just fucking disemboweled and cut up everywhere. And it's grim as hell, and I love it. I love the detail and the goriness, and it's great, and it's an insane story. So
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, Darren Shan, Deptford Mice. Deptford Mice.
Yeah, the mice is going because one of the Christmas presents that me and Jake did one year was get each other a mini, but not tell each other what.
Oh,
And we
okay.
paint it together, and he got me a set of 3 warrior mice.
Oh,
So all I'm
nice.
doing is picturing those guys
Yeah,
being
well,
like,
it
I'm going to
is.
fight that rat!
Yeah, it is pretty much, but the rats usually end up messing up all the mice because
Yeah, the
they're
rats
bigger
are-
and angrier.
Rats are dickheads.
And yeah, they are. They are in the book at least. So yeah, that's my one. What would you like to do next? The TV series?
Yeah, let's go
maybe?
TV
The
series.
TV.
Can I do /animes?
Of course.
into
I
this
mean,
section?
if it's a series and it
Yeah,
there's
it's-
episodic and episodic and all that kind of jazz. Tell you what, I'll start us off since you had a good
Yeah.
old book ramble before.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm gonna start us off easy with Goosebumps from back in the day.
You
in
mean?
my
Oh
child-
yeah. I was like, wait, Goosebumps, and I was like, oh yeah, no.
I've got Goosebumps.
I got Goosebumps.
No, because well, those books were amazing as well. But the TV series that they brought out. There was one episode I will never forget. It was called How to Kill a Monster, and I saw it and it scared the shit out of me when I was little, and I never forget it. It was just these 2 kids going to live with their grandparents or some shit like that. And they've got a monster locked up in their basement, and it was just horrific looking. And yeah, it scared the shit out of me. So like, I never forget that. Never forget that. So yeah, what have you got?
TV shows. I've got quite a few anime. I'm probably just gonna go all anime in.
Okay, yeah, give us one of those.
Give you one. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, one of the first ones I ever watched was called Blood Plus.
Blood
Blood. It
Plus.
was just blood, and then it's like the plus symbol, not
Okay.
the word plus.
Yeah.
And it's a vampire anime, but it's basically this girl called Saya. She is a high school student who struggles with amnesia, and her school gets attacked by blood-eating creatures, is how it describes them, aka vampires. And she then, out of fear, goes unconscious. And when she's unconscious, she's a super fighting vampire hunter. So she's unconscious and she has some cool ass fight scenes, and one of the vampires kind of saves her.
Yeah.
And it's just them going on
and
a
they
series
have
of vampire hunting.
Ooh.
Not really, because every time she wakes up, she's got amnesia.
Oh, okay.
So she just
Does
doesn't
he
know.
have to remind her of everything again?
Yeah, pretty much.
50 First Dates sort of thing, but with vampire anime.
Yeah, essentially, it's quite gross. They have some really cool death scenes because she's just got she's just a schoolgirl outfit with a giant ass katana.
Oh, nice.
And it's old school. I think it's like 90s anime.
And
So-
was it scary? Did you think it was a spoopy sort of
It's
thing?
not super scary.
Yeah.
It's just vampire horror. So
Okay.
it's just lots of real good gore fighting.
Good old
She
mess.
chops some heads off, and
Oh,
they just
yeah.
roll, and there's
Lovely.
blood splatters. Like it even has the classic, like when she cuts them up, blood splatters on the screen.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So it's that sort of
That's
good.
what you want.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what you
good
want.
horror, like fun horror. I haven't really got any gross
Well,
horrors
you don't
on
have
it.
to
There
have
is
gross
some,
stuff, but it's
yeah,
spooky stuff.
spooky. The only other one that's a bit. There's one scene in. So my next anime was Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay.
Have you heard?
I've heard of it, but
you've
I've
heard
never
of it.
seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically an alternative Tokyo
Hmm.
where there are humans coexist with ghouls, and ghouls eat humans, but they're not like vampire-y. They just literally eat the fuck out of them.
What, and they coexist and they just let them eat them and stuff? Or is there not much they can do about
There's
it?
not much they can do about it. They just eat the flesh of humans. There's not many ghouls, and they can't really survive very well.
Oh, okay.
And they generally, the ghouls are in hiding because
Yeah.
when the humans know about them, they kill them.
Oh, fair, yeah.
But they hunt in the night and they eat you. And essentially, the main guy, I'm not going to pronounce his name because every time I try, I can never do it. It begins with a T. That'll do. We'll call it on T.
Okay.
It's him learning about it and finding out some of his friends were secretly ghouls.
Oh.
And shit like that.
Secret ghouls.
And it gets horror to like depressing horror.
Okay, yeah.
And it gets
psychological.
really sad and dark, and there's some torture scenes in it. There's a bit in there that will forever do me in.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to say too. It's an old anime. It's fine, right? Tokyo Ghoul, kind of spoiler coming up. He gets tortured a lot
Yeah.
in it, and there's a scene for him to deal with being tortured,
Okay.
where he constantly cracks his fingers, and there's a bit where he can't. It's just his thumbs that he just the sound of that, because it's a whole episode of just his torture. It didn't come out too. I was waiting. I was like, fuck.
You can usually do it. Well, there you go.
And it's just him So the only way he can get through the torture is he cracks his finger to kind of bring him back after. So he like zones out while it's torturing, and then he does that to like process himself. And it's just a whole episode of him just being tortured and dealing with that. And
that's pretty heavy then,
yeah, it gets kind of...
it gets all...
Yeah, oh, this is hurting my brain. I'm feeling quite depressed now. And there's loads more other Tokyo Ghoul series and stuff, offsets and films. I've not watched any of it.
Nice.
I've just watched the main series because after that it got a bit too sad. And I was just like,
I'm not in the zone for sad. I've been sadded out.
Yeah.
I'm Tokyo Ghoul
generally. I don't need more sadness in my life.
Yeah. It's getting me down. That sounds amazing.
It's really, really good, and I'd highly recommend it as an anime we could watch.
Nice.
So I'll let you. I've done 2. I'll let you go.
My next one is American Horror Story.
It's on my to-watch list.
Okay.
Because I've heard so much good things about it.
For sure. Well, this is the thing. I was very reluctant to watch any sort of like horror like series for some reason because I felt like I couldn't get closure on something because I like the whole arc and everything finishes in a horror film, but. I finally was convinced by Roz to watch American Horror Story, and I was like, oh, damn, this is actually really fucking good. And yeah, they absolutely killed it, and they have a different sort of setting and theme each season. So the ones that stuck out for me was the asylum one, so they were in a mental asylum, and all sorts of stuff coming about through there, and characters come in and out, and like Lucifer comes in, and the angel comes in as well. It's completely nuts. And then Freak Show as well.
Is there one with Lady Gaga?
Yeah, that's the hotel one.
That's the hotel one. That's the only one I've like heard raving things about with her being amazing. That's the only thing I know about it. She
absolutely killed it, and it was it's a shame because the one who's usually like the big kind of head honcho woman in it. I really can't remember her name, which is a crime because she is incredible in it. She's an older woman, but she is just a force of nature in those. But she's not in that one, I think, because of like issues with Lady Gaga being in it. But no, Lady Gaga was amazing. She killed it, and that hotel one is really, really good. But Freak Show was the other one that
Is that the circus?
Yeah, it's all like Freak Show circus, and it is just creepy as balls. Like, even the intro music, it just like I skip it because it's just like it's weirding me out, man. See all sorts of weird shit.
The only thing that would stop me watching the circus one would be animals getting hurt. It's the only thing I don't like seeing or hearing.
I don't think there's many animals. I mean, there's a lot of people getting hurt.
That's
fine.
For sure. Fuck people.
They got because some good creepy clowns in it as well.
Cool,
there's one clown with like a big mask on. And then when he takes off his mask, it's just like all of his kind of skin around there is gone. He's just got a huge like
big Chelsea smile.
Yeah. But it's like really wide and huge.
Oh wow.
And it's just skeletal and stuff. And yeah, it looks incredible. But yeah, American Horror Story, they kill it. I haven't watched many of the later ones, but I think I've watched like 8 series of it. And yeah, it's different every time. And yeah, the actors, they get cool guest actors in, and yeah. It's amazing every time.
It's on my to-watch list. I'm just really bad. I have such a short attention span. So when it comes to TVs or series, because obviously I assume the episodes are like an hour long each.
Some of them might be, but I think they're not as long as that. Maybe 40 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's all. It's pushing it. It's pushing it. Because obviously anime is 20. Yeah, I can do 20 minutes, and then I can get up and do something, and then I can come back and watch it. It's very rare I can just sit for like 40 minutes straight watching something. I really, really struggle. Yeah. I get really twitchy, and then I start doing the thing of like, I have to be on my phone. I have to go have something to fiddle with.
Terrible. I'm never watching a movie with you.
You have though. But yeah,
probably I was so involved in the movie I didn't notice you in the corner. Like,
just like having a freak out in the corner. Like, well, yeah, but then that's when I get. Then I have to deal with the whole mental process of like, oh, you're being rude because everyone else is watching it and enjoying it. You put your phone down, and I'm just like, but I can't. So then I have to like twitch with something, or that's when I go and eat. And then I just sit and I have to just eat shit and just like a fucking rabbit.
That's all right. It's all right. What have you got next for me?
Have you seen Hellsing as an anime?
Oh, I think we touched on this last time.
I think so, yeah.
The animated, I'm guessing, is Van Helsing.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
And it's just basically him as the vampire Alucard, and he's being a vampire hunter and just being cool as fuck with his guns. His outfit is long red hair, red jacket,
doing
red
his
hat,
thing.
with his like sidekick. I think her name's Sarah. who's just got the biggest titties in the world.
That's the important thing.
She's fucking great. She is on my.
She kick ass.
Yeah, she's great. They have some good fighting in there. Those two don't.
No, they're not like
No,
that.
no,
When
no,
you said
no.
they have some good. I was
Fuck.
like, oh.
No. They just have some good fighting in there.
What were you gonna? She's on your.
Oh, she's on my like cosplay list. I would love to one day like dress up as her. But it would. We could do it. That could be fun because you could totally be because he's really fucking tall.
Oh right.
And she's quite small,
Yeah.
so that could work.
That could work.
I'll get some big fake titties in. So we could do the anime boob wibbles. Blah 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 blah, like that fucking.
Oh, the sniper shot.
The sniper shot
Yeah,
from.
I think you showed me that.
Yeah, High School Undead. Oh no. Can't something like that.
I have no clue, but I remember you showing it me. And
That's
just
a
being
horror.
like,
That's a zombie horror anime.
What in the fuck is that? That is just some over the top madness.
The slow-mo matrixness. And then another one, which is one that Jake showed me anime, which is now, it's probably one of my favorite intros to an anime because the song gets stuck in my, I think I've shown you the intro song because I'm always showing it people when they're like, oh, what's your favorite anime intro? And I'm like, Dead Man
Bam.
Wonderland.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah, I remember you showed me that.
Yeah, that's just essentially about this kid. His school gets attacked and he gets sent to Dead Man Wonderland, which is basically a private-owned prison, which is also a theme park.
Oh, wow.
Where inmates are forced to perform dangerous tasks. Like, think of the... Oh, what's the thing? The TV show of... Was it in, like, Japan? Of the where they have to go through and do...
Oh, I know. It's like Squid Game.
Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so all the inmates have to basically do that, and whoever survives, the last person to survive gets to go free.
Oh, you get your freedom.
And it's like 12 episodes. It's really short.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've got that in my notes to watch that because I remember you saying that.
Gush
to me.
about
Like,
it.
Watch this.
It's I'm pretty sure it's an unsatisfying ending, but it's just a good journey.
Yeah.
Because they just had to cut it short.
Ah.
But yeah, that's one of my.
Nice.
That's my last of my
Enemies.
As the top actual kind of spooky horror ones, but they're not. I haven't got anything that's like pure horror because there's on my to watch list is Parasite.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
I
on.
Literally, the trailer for it. Sorry, I'm just.
Oh, it's funny.
I've watched the trailer of it and I've watched little clips of it, and every time it's just the hand. Because the main character just has the parasite in his hand and it talks to him and forces him to do stuff, and it's just when they fight, the two parasites fight, so his hand just sucks onto other things.
Yeah.
And it's just some people's heads just like open up and become giant mouths, and there's just some scenes in that, man, that I'm just like, I can't.
Oh, you wouldn't like The Thing then, because that film is very much like that. I don't know if you've ever seen any clips of that.
I've
film.
seen clips of that. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. Films that fucking the one that fucks me up. I think I've brought this up before. Birds.
Oh
the
yeah.
film Birds.
That's my mum's like she hates that.
It's pure
film
horror.
as well.
I have a fear of birds because of that
she
film.
She does as well.
And then since obviously in real life this year I got attacked by a fucking pigeon.
Oh yeah.
Twice. I was like, I don't walk that street I have to walk down that way to get to work every day.
Target, yeah.
And I literally have added 5 minutes onto my journey since then because I'm like, I can't go that way to work anymore.
Should just bring one of the swords or something, or just get ready to bat it out the air when it comes at you. Fuck that bird up.
Yeah, like Paul Liam, he would go to the pub with me like the day after it happened. I was just sat there and there's like birds flying above, and I was
as soon as you hear flapping,
and he's like, "Don't worry, they birds won't come near me." And I'm just there like, I'm gonna die.
I'm a bird repellent.
And both said, "No kidding."
Ooh, you said it. You
shot
said
birds.
it.
I love
I set
Liam.
you up. Knocked out the park. My last series that I have is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I had to mention it. I couldn't help myself. It had to be done. And not because I just love it, but there were some episodes that really were genuinely fucking like, eerie, scary, and just, well, they scared me at least. Probably the most notable one that most people know was called Hush, which is the one with the gentleman, where the gentlemen, they come in and they just steal everyone's voices, so no one can scream and stuff, and they float around and just take all like body parts
Things
from
from
stuff.
you.
And they always had that
Big
massive
smile.
grin.
Oh.
I'm getting all tingly thinking about it. I love it.
Yeah.
And they're just floating around like with scalpels and shit. That one was fucking incredible. And there's one later on which is I'll never forget, where it's like the series where Gloria is like a god and she is just like doing angry shit.
Oh.
She calls down this like big shit to like regain her strength. She has to put her hands in people's heads, and as a result, it just makes them like insane and go crazy.
Wow.
So then someone summons like this creature from outer space to go and just kill everyone who's crazy, to just purge them all. But it's like a little cockroach that scuttles around and it goes on the ceilings and shit. And
I can already hear the...
yeah, for some reason it really got me. It really got me, and I hated that.
Things crawling on ceilings just get you, don't
yeah,
they?
yeah, it was bad times. And I remember there's one where Buffy's in the hospital. It's quite an early series, and she gives herself the flu so she can see this particular demon that's killing children and stuff like that.
Go Buffy.
It's called the Kinderstuhl or something like that. And the way it gets you, like its eyes just start going blah and poke out on these little stems and attach to your head or your eyes or something. I can't remember, but it's this old creepy man with a hat and stuff. He looks awful, and that scared the shit out of me as well. But yeah, Buffy generally scared me, and I loved it. I thought it was great. So yeah, Buffy's up there always for me, without doubt.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, Buffy is... it's been so long since I watched Buffy, man. So long.
I love it.
The only other random TV shows I want to talk about is... I've got a list, but I'm realising as I'm looking at the list, they're not that scary. Most of the things aren't that scary. They're just adventurous. That is scary. Adventurous scary.
It can be. It can be.
But I want to bring him up just because so we can bring up our wonderful, our god, Mad Mikkelsen.
Mads.
Mads. In Hannibal. It's...
Oh, God, what a adaptation that is.
It's so beautiful. It makes me hungry for people flesh.
I know, right?
Like the way he cooks them sausages. Slowly grasping them along.
Piping them out.
Slowly cutting it ever so delicately and just popping it in his mouth.
Throws up that apple or onion and catches it on the knife.
But I'm pretty sure it's in that TV show, which has got it. I remember they're called angel wings. That type of killer.
Yeah. They put out the lungs out the back, don't they?
Yeah, just attached, attacking the scenery, and they hang it onto like the bed. I remember. I picture that scene.
Yeah.
So intently.
Oh, for sure. It's so graphic, that show. It really is.
But
it has
beautiful.
to be, and it is.
And it's weird how beautiful it is.
Without a doubt. That's why, because I always tell my parents to watch it, but it's like, I don't know if you'd like it, because it is so graphic.
Yeah, I remember sitting and watching most of that with my
intense.
mom.
Yeah, really nice. It's so intense. It's great. It's on Netflix, because it used to be on Prime or HBO or something, but it's on Netflix now. And yeah, I love it. I love it so much.
Obviously, I'm going to bring it up as well, Castlevania, just because that is classed as horror. It does class as horror. It's not really spooky or scary, but it's
great.
just good.
It's got vampires in it. It's so good.
Vampires equals
demons,
horror.
All sorts. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that would be my number one for TV shows. Hannibal. It's just that's all I need.
That's what I want.
That's all I want.
Excellent. So are we gonna do games or films next?
I feel like we should end on films.
End on films. Okay, that is the classic.
Yeah,
horror.
The classic horror, so we can end on the classics.
Okie pokey.
Okie pokey, dokey dokey. I could go straight into a game with that.
Go on in.
Have you heard of Doki Doki Literature?
I haven't actually.
Doki Doki Literature Club.
I haven't. No.
You haven't? Oh my god!
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's all.
We are.
So excited.
I am making you play this game. It's like 2 hours long, and it's one of my favorite fucking horror games. Doesn't sound like it. But it comes across as a dating simulator. Hence why Doki Doki, because in Japanese that means like heart, heart, beat, beat. Love, love.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, I can't remember which of the three it means, but it means one of those.
Yeah.
But essentially it means like love, love, literature club. And it's the premise of a classic dating simulator where you're this boy in high school and you're new, you're a transfer student, and you join literature club because it's the only club that's left to join. So you have to join a club at school.
Yeah.
And it's got these 4 wonderful ladies in it.
Yeah.
And it...
Are they ladies, though, or are they schoolgirls?
No. Oh... Schoolgirls, okay.
As I say, because we're not talking about Japan.
Yeah, it's 16. You're all 16 though, so it's fine.
It's fine.
There's
Sure it is.
I'll tell you, there's no dating that happens in this dating simulator.
Okay.
So the premise is, when you go on the website for it, it's pink. It's a full-on delusion of like, this game is great. But when you watch the trailer, it's all classic dating simulator, like click to talk, do your choices. The only thing you get that can show it's a bit of a horror game is right at the front. It just does like trigger warnings, death, brutal, and like suicide in it.
Oh wow.
But that flashes.
This is my top 3.
I know, right? And that only flashes up for like a second, and then it just shows you this beautiful pink, wonderful world of literature. So you have, I can't remember the 3 characters' name, but you essentially have your girl best friend, like next door best friend girl. You have I write manga and cute poems girl, and then you have I am an emo goth girl, and then you have the literature club leader Mizuki. I remember her name. There's reasons why you remember her name. So you pick your path, and you essentially pick one of the 3 other girls.
Okay.
You get to choose which one you want to start dating. You become best friends with them, and depending on which path you choose is how they die.
The girl dies?
Yeah.
Oh, so do you kill him?
No.
Okay.
So essentially, the short story of it is Mizuki, the literature club leader. She wants to date you. Okay. And so whichever girl you pick, she essentially bullies them and convinces them to do stuff, horrible things to themselves. So like the first girl, you'll find her and she's hung herself, and it just shows you. And it's not nice. And then the game starts to then glitch. Oh. So like as you're playing, so instead of you normally tapping to click next to the thing, it will start taking over, and then the screen will start flashing. The text will start changing on the screen, and Mizuki's face will keep randomly popping up. And she'll let you know halfway through the game. She knows she's in a game, and good. She wants to fuck you, essentially. She wants to come on with you, and she starts taking over the game, and she starts being like, you have to let me out, you have to free me.
Oh, wow.
And she then will find out what your actual name is through the game. Whatever you named your PC is, she'll start calling you that instead of whatever name you chose to be.
Yeah. And so freak you out.
And she'll start hacking your files in your game. Like, so when you come out, she'll be like, I've moved this file, and we'll pick a random file in your computer to this folder. And she'll have like when you
at least she tells you.
Yeah.
It's like, where the fuck is that really important thing that I was
looking? And she'll like lock you into this like cybernetic room that isn't in the game no more, and you have to. She's like, you can't leave anymore. So when you try and escape the game, she'll just be like, you can't leave.
Oh wow!
And it proper hacks it. Woo! I'm too excited. It like hacks in, and so to actually delete the game, to delete her from this, to carry on playing the game. When you get to that point, you have to delete certain files in the game files.
Oh, to reset.
And then to reset the game, and you get to start to play the game again, where she doesn't know she's in a game. And then the game starts corrupting even more, and you just have to keep...
Oh, so it keeps adding layers to it.
And it keeps adding layers to the game.
That's really cool, actually. That sounds like a dating game that I would actually play.
It's free.
It's free?
It's free.
Damn.
It came out in 2018.
Then?
Yeah, it's on Steam. It wasn't originally on Steam. It was on the classic visual novel thing, which is Itsu.
Okay.
But then it got so popular. It got like 2 billion downloads. So I think it popped because it's free. And
that's nuts that it's free. That's awesome. Free, like, crazy experience like that.
I could... Gosh, that game for ages, but it is gross. There's some stabby.
We like gross. At least I do anyway.
I think it's a biscuit break time.
Biscuit break?
Yeah.
Bicky break who?
Just passes a little.
There you
are
go.
they oaty ones?
They are. They're hobbin.
They're extra special.
Can I say what they are? Is that against the...
No, it's not. Sponsor us.
Sue me. They're hobnobs. Chocolatey hobnobs.
I nearly was like, it's like a cup of tea and dip it in.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna get crumbs fucking everywhere. Well, you get all crumbed up, and I will show you my first game. Well, I'll do 2 because the first one's gonna be very quick because I've talked about it before. It's Silent Hill, without a doubt. Well, Silent Hill 2 specifically.
Okay.
Just incredible. I love it.
The nuns, that's right. That's the right type of game. No? The creepy zombie nuns? What am I thinking of?
Well, you have the creepy doctor nurses.
Yes.
Not nuns.
Oh God, did I say
You
nuns?
said nuns, yeah.
Sorry, I meant nurses.
Yeah, the nurses in the hospital.
Nuns
they're
are
there.
terrifying
And
as
then,
they are.
Pyramid Head as well.
Pyramid Head, yes.
With the big
I
sword.
love when people cosplay him.
Oh yeah, they killed it in the movie as well. And yeah, I've talked about it before. Silent Hill, I love it. I love it so much. Just amazing, amazing game. And so I'll touch on Slender, the Slender Man game. That I think that was free when they brought it out.
Yeah.
But I played that with so many different people, showed it to people just to watch people play it and get all shit up by it because it was so simple, but they did a really good job of.
Because you just have to find the paper, right?
Yeah, it's just pages.
Yeah,
it was like 8 pages, and each time you pick one up, like either the music or just the static in the background would build, or you'd see him more often. And yeah, it was such a simple idea and concept, but it was executed very well. And yeah, a lot of people I showed like it didn't fail to shit them up. Like it was hilarious.
Have you ever dressed up as him for Halloween?
No.
'Cause you're tall and slender.
I don't think I have. Although part of me thinks that I might have tried it one time, but I didn't have like because you need the morph suit,
Yeah,
like, top really.
you need like a suit, don't you, with just a long white.
Yeah, morph suit
mask.
head, really.
Yeah, they're not great to breathe in.
Oh, I've done one with them.
You're using the Power Rangers.
The Power
I've done
Rangers,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, they're okay. It's not too great, but it's alright.
It's just sad when you want to drink. You're just staring at your drink.
Just unzip your face. There we go.
Yeah, that's why I ended up, when I did the Spider-Man one, I was like, fuck it, it's just going all in my neck. I'm wearing a big chunky collar and I'm just going like, I'm faceless, like fucking...
That's fine.
It's fine.
Everyone knows who I am.
It's okay.
Reveal my identity, who cares? But yeah, Slenderman, I remember one time we were playing at one of my LAN festival things.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And one guy in particular getting real shit up and scared, and then my mate TJ, he would come and, like, we were walking back to the campsite, he scared him on the way back there, jumped out of a hedge, and then we were all sitting in the tent together, there's one of those big ones, and he climbed, like, out of his pod, because it was one that had all the pods attached, somehow got out of his pod, like, crawled slowly and quietly behind, like, back to the front entrance, and crawled up behind him and fucking just, wah! Just grabbed him on the shoulders and screamed in his ear, and just... absolutely fucked him. It was so funny. Oh, it was so good. Like, he was so scared.
I know I've told you it before, the story, but I don't know if I've said it on here before. My favourite real-life horror spook of scaring someone in real life is what my mom did to my dad when I was a kid.
I'm not sure if I...
Oh, okay, that's fine. So it's based, The Ring, the film The Ring. When you the phone call with the "you have 7 days."
Oh yeah, you did.
I have. I don't know if I've said it on here though. It's still to this day the best fucking story I've ever heard of someone scaring someone. So it's obviously when those days, you young and kids, when we had the phone that they only had the house phone and it was attached to the wall and the phone was corded and everything. So I think Dad was either already in bed or out for work. Either way, we'd all watch The Ring. And Mum had turned the dial down so when she could ring it herself, the phone itself, to leave a voicemail, he wouldn't hear it. And he was the first person up at that time. So he would voicemail, before I go to work, I'll listen, see if it's important. And my mum had a voice changer. Yeah. Like one of my kids, 'cause I was a kid, microphone voice changer. And she loves horror. Mum's favourite thing is to watch. It scared me watching her do it. Like, I was there as like a 7-year-old kid shitting my own pants. Like, she's so scary. And she did the "you have 7 days."
7 days.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to sleep for ages. So I was like too nervous with Dad waking up. But yeah, Dad woke up. He had to get up at like 5 a.m. whatever it is, and he obviously heard it. And the phone just dropped. He screamed. He was like, "Guys, it's real!
It's happening!
It's happening! We've got 7 days!
Oh, God.
We're going! We're leaving!"
You know that doesn't work, Dad. You watched the same film as I did.
And I was just there playing along. Like, oh my God, okay, what are we going to do? And my mum was just upstairs pissing herself with a cigarette in bed. With the cup of tea that Dad had made her, because she's got him like trained to a T to making up a cup of tea before he does anything. So she's upstairs cigarette, cup of tea, like
you're done good.
I'm proud of myself. And it's still the best thing she's ever
It's good when it happens to someone else.
Oh God,
and
for
not
sure.
you.
Yeah, not crying my own eyes out.
Yeah. I will mention just purely, really quickly before you go on, SCP. That
I don't know what that is.
is like, because they're kind of like the creepypastas. They have
Okay.
this whole SCP monsters, just like
Oh,
lists
fun.
and lists of monsters that do weird things. Like there's monsters that will only move when you blink or when you're not looking at
Oh,
them.
like the Doctor Who one.
Kind of like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And they have, and they made a game of it where you could one person be the SCP and hunt all the other people. And
Oh,
stuff.
sick!
I've seen Matt and them like play it a lot
Yeah.
together, and they love it. and They think it's hilarious. So it's a really good time, but there's a whole world behind all that SCP stuff.
Wow,
and
that
it's
sounds
nuts.
sick.
So yeah, that's good. But yeah, what's your next game?
So I'll do like 2 as like a quick mention.
Oh sure.
So because I don't think it's fully like too horror-y, but it's got the horror tag. So
Get it out of here.
have you heard of Catherine? Which was like a PlayStation game where you play as a guy and there's 2 girls and you've got to solve puzzles, which is like jumping puzzles as they come and the creepy monsters come and chase you.
Yeah.
But it's spoopy in the sense of the girls are really creepy and the monsters are really gross and they're like shouting like, "Have my baby!" at you. Like, "We've got to keep the baby!" As because you've got to choose which woman you're gonna date, and
Okay.
there's like a evil side or an angel side of which you pick in, and just Catherine's a great Japanese kind of puzzle game, and it's just,
With a bit of dating in there.
it's not really it's not a dating simulator, it's just a choice pick story.
Yeah.
And just different endings, and it's just you're either being like a dickhead who's like, you've been dating this one woman forever, so do you either try and keep together, or do you this random demon girl has come into your life, because it's basically like the devil who owns the bar that you go to, and he's like setting this girl on people to prove that they're cheating on their wives and all
they're
this
bad
jazz.
people.
So there's a whole like plot
Is she hot,
behind
though?
it. Both of them are hot. Just it's your preferences. I'm not a fan of personally Catherine, who's
Yeah.
the demon lady, who she's short blonde hair, wears tiny dresses, and is like a ooh Marilyn Monroe
Not your type.
No, where the main girl is like boss ass bitch, sassy, she works all the time, and she's just like, you don't pay you enough rent, you don't do enough, and she like has a go at you all the time, and I'm like, yes, I love her. Tell me what to do. Oh,
Shout
please
at me.
shout at me. Oh, I'll do anything for you. So yeah, it depends on what you like. So yeah, that's a quick shout out. And the other one is, it's another PlayStation game, Heavy Rain.
Sean!
Whatever the kid's name
Sean! So I've just seen that clip of it bugging
Yeah.
out. Sean!
When you're in it's literally the opening scene of the game, pretty much.
Sean!
But yeah, I love that because it's all about obviously I was gonna call it the paper mache killer, the origami killer.
It casts just bam, bam. I made a paper mache buzz, bam.
But yeah, the origami killer, and obviously it's one of the characters that you're playing as, and you don't know who it is, and then he's obviously kidnapped Sean or whichever other kids
It's either
left.
Jason or Sean.
Jason. Yeah,
Is Sean the one who gets run over?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's bad dad. But that's a really fun
I've
game.
seen clips of it, and it's just
I
like,
really enjoy playing
Yeah,
that. I even tried. They even brought it out after it came out years later when the VR thing came out, and you could play it like VR.
It's
and
there's a lot of quick time stuff in it, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is, and that was really interesting. Didn't get far in that game.
I
as a
like
VR.
watching, because I think that guy Video Game Donkey.
Yes.
I've watched him play, and he just misses all of the quick times. I think it's that chase that they do through the
Yeah,
supermarket and
and you
stuff.
just like can't left, right,
Chickens
left.
flying at you.
You just can't dodge it, and you
just
see them like KOs.
looks so funny. Yeah, I love that. No, Heavy Rain's a great one. I have never played it myself, but I know a lot of
loved
people who enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
for
played
sure.
it quite a few times, and it's one of those. Again, it's one of those. I think I played it when I was at home still.
Yeah.
And my mum enjoyed watching me play it, so that was quite
Oh
a
yeah.
nice one.
Oh, it's quite a good spectator
telling me
sort of.
what they think is, because mum loves crime dramas and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit. So she was like, I know who it is. Like 2 minutes in, she's like, I know exactly who it is.
Did she know? Was she right?
Of course she's right.
Mama-
It's my
Mama
mum.
knows
Of course
best.
Yeah, always knows right. Even if she was wrong, I'll tell her she's right. No, I'm kidding. But and then another one as a quick mention would be Danganronpa. I don't think you've probably heard of
Never
that.
heard
no.
of that, no.
No, it's a big popular in like the anime world, the visual
yeah.
novels. It's also
God, you're such a weeb.
I am such a weeb, and I'm proud of being a fucking weeb.
Good.
Yeah. They've made a TV show. They've made an anime out of it as well. So if you don't want to play
Okay.
the game, you could just watch the anime because essentially the same thing happens.
Yeah.
But it's a point and click game, but again, it's spoopy because it's essentially you're in with, I can't remember however many people, but you're locked in and you have to just survive. And there's you do courts at the end of like you've got to fight who the odd person out is, and they just die in like over the top manic ways. But essentially Danganronpa is a school that only elites get in, so everyone applies to be in this school, and then they only pick a select few, and then they realize when they get in the school it's not actually a school. And it's just run by this black and white teddy bear.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You need to see the teddy bear because it will just show you how anime it is.
I feel like maybe
You've probably
I've either seen
him.
clips of it, or maybe I'm thinking of the teddy bear from Akira. I'm thinking
Oh,
of.
you could be. Danganronpa looks like this. The black and white teddy bear in
no,
the background.
I haven't seen that before.
Yeah,
no.
he's great. Everyone loves him. He's like, when he's acting out, because he's both sides anime.
Split person.
He's a split personality. So when he's being white, he's being really nice to you and he's giving you clues. And then on that side, he's like, and he's all evil. And he has a manic laugh. And he's like that when he gets the more things you get correct when solving puzzles, the angrier he gets, because he doesn't want you to solve the puzzles, and he just wants to kill you. But there's always one of the people is one of his assistants, so there's like 7 games, I think.
Oh wow.
And each game has its own series of the anime. And slowly, obviously, only you survive, possibly, if you do the game right.
So that's the aim, is to get out and
get back into the real world,
then,
if you can.
There's a fucking teddy bear running a school over here.
Well, essentially, for what happens, I've only played the first 3.
Yeah.
He just he lets you escape, and then he just holds you back and puts you again around in, so you never get out into the real world to tell anyone, because he's just like, right, next round, next lot of kids, I've got some more backup. But yeah, some of the deaths are like, there was each kid is doing the classic anime Japanese thing where each kid is very trope heavy. So there'll be like one kid who plays basketball and is known for playing basketball. So when he dies, he just gets killed by basketballs out of the guns that shoot like golf ball things. So it's just him being on a roller coaster, and it just goes and just slowly pummels him to death, and he just explodes.
Explodes.
He's just like basketball to the face, to the body, all of him, and you just see him like buff, and then explosion.
I love how he explodes. Explosion from basketballs. Yeah. It's too many basketballs.
Yeah, it's over the top. It's very anime. It's a great game though.
Amazing.
Solving puzzles, and you can also kind of like befriend people, and there's like gift systems, so you can buy like in between solving the puzzles. You can like do raffles and mini games, and you
you got to get the mini games in there.
And then you can
lighten the mood a bit.
Earn prizes, and you can give them to the other contestants, and they'll help you then.
Oh, okay.
So if you get them to like you enough, when it comes to the final round, they won't vote for you to kill you off.
To get killed.
So you've kind of got to do that as a subplot game as well to not get voted.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
There's layers.
I like it. Okay, well, I'll mention, because 2 of these, I'll mention very quickly, and then the last one I'll touch on a bit more. But Resident Evil, I think we spoke about that before.
Yeah.
Growing up, I watched my parents' friends' children play it, and we'd all get together and play it together. And yeah, I have very good core memories of watching Resident Evil be played, and everyone just huddling around together, watching one guy play it, and just be like, "Ooh, oh my god, it's crazy." So yeah, Resident Evil is always going to be up there for me, even no matter how many times it's been reformed and remixed and come out again and remastered and stuff. That first Resident Evil, maybe 2 as well. Like seeing the lickers go past the window like that.
I was going to say, is it Resident Evil with the dogs coming in the window as well?
Yeah, that's the first one.
That's the first.
You go through that little corridor
memory.
and then it's so loud and it shits everyone up without a doubt. And I have Dead Space 2 because I played that a lot.
We know that game. I can't. Fucks me up that game.
We spoke about that as well. That's why we won't touch on it too much. But I'd never forget that opening sequence when the guy comes and busts you out of the prison, and then his face just and you're tied up in that kind of suit, and you have to just run from everything, and you feel so helpless. And yeah, it just goes on from there. It's amazing. I love it. But I want to talk about a bit more is Fear. I don't know if you've ever played Fear.
It's like FWEA. I've watched my dad play some of it.
Yeah, all caps.
Yeah, all caps. And it's like a brown and white cover.
With the girl on the front. I think she's called... No, Samira is the ring.
Yes, Maria is the ring.
But-
It's like there's also a horror game out there called Soma, but I'm not. That's like a new game.
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
Fear.
know the name,
I
but yeah.
absolutely adored
I've not finished
Fear.
it.
Oh, it was great. I mean, the gameplay for it was incredible. They had all sorts of bullet time stuff.
Yes.
And just like mental weapons, like the nail gun, just nailing people to walls and stuff.
Yeah, I
It's
think
so
that's the
satisfying.
main bits I remember of seeing
Yeah.
that, because my dad played it a bit,
Yeah.
but then he kept playing it when I wasn't around, obviously, because work and school never mix.
Sure.
But like, so I've seen bits of it when him playing it, but I wouldn't play the by myself.
Well, that's the thing, and they do really good jump scares in it throughout. Like, I remember one bit in particular where you'd go down the ladder, so you turn around to go in there, and she's at the top, and she gets you there when you turn
Oh,
around.
because you
bang.
can't do anything, because you're just like, oh fuck.
Well, so you start climbing down, but you edge your way down, turn around, bam, she's right there. And then when you get to the bottom, you turn around again, and bam, she's right there. It just gets you twice, and yeah, it's just loads of that throughout. Just yeah,
I've
and
just
later on,
remembered-
there's people like you run through a corridor, and it fills up with blood and all sorts of fun shit, and then it turns upside down. And, yeah, it was a really big mindfuck, but it was a great game, great single player first person shooter. I loved it, and yeah, had really good elements of sort of jump scares and shit. So yeah, I absolutely adored that one.
You talking about turning around and getting a jump scare just remind me something else my parents have done in the horror-esque. It was the Resident Evil, not Village, the one that came before that was like, welcome to the family, kid. Whichever Resident Evil one that was. But it's the one before Village, so it's 7. Or would it be 6? I can't remember.
The Village one was like that one got remastered recently, where it's all like Spanish.
Yeah,
like,
but it was the
Village
one
type thing.
before that one. There's the normal Resident Evil, whichever the latest one came out, where you're the guy trying to save your girlfriend in a house.
Yeah, and it's the weird, creepy cannibal kind of
Cannibal family.
with
Yes, it was that one.
Yeah.
But they released the demo of it in VR, because my dad has a whole VR setup.
Fuck that noise.
So I played. So my parents came over and was like, "We've not played it yet, but we think you'll play it." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll play it. I'll have a go at it." Was doing it, was having a great time, and it got to, in the demo, it's slightly different to how the actual game is, because it was obviously before the game came out.
Yeah.
And you're in a scene where you're sat down, and the creepy girlfriend, when she's all crazy, comes up to you and starts doing essentially the knife game of stabbing you randomly. So my parents, I sat down, they got me a chair from the dining room, I sat in the living room and we did it. And my parents are doing the classic thing, because they can see obviously the game on the big telly, what I can see in my face.
I know where this is going.
So they were doing the thing where she would hit me, they would hit me with something on the leg. So I was obviously freaking out.
Bastards.
And then, no, it gets worse. There's a bit where you have she like pulls you up. So my parents like help me stand up, and she then shoves you back down in the chair in the game. Parents removed the chair, didn't they? So then when I
Just
sat
knock
back,
you on your ass.
so there's me just being like, I'm dying.
Your parents are insane.
Oh, it's
Amazing fun, but oh my
yeah,
god.
Jake was there. Jake watched it all.
So
It's to impress Jake.
you
No, I know, it's
got
fine.
consent from him. Like, you can traumatize.
You can traumatize my woman.
Go ahead.
It's fine.
I bet it's funny though.
I was pissing myself. My mom's probably got it somewhere on video.
Yeah, you're braver than I would not touch the VR of that. Like, fuck that completely. Like,
Yeah, would do that, but wouldn't play Dead Space. How the brain works, who knows?
Yeah.
The same night, I was also playing, there's like a Batman detective game on the VR. There's a scene in that right at the end where Joker tricks you and he puts you in the cell.
Okay.
And every time you look left or look right, the scene changes. And I have never screamed and cried and threw the thing off my head. So I looked left and it had, oh god, what's his name in the Batman thingy?
what, Scarecrow or
Not,
something?
it could have been Scarecrow, yeah, because he was brown.
One with the bag on his head sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, the actor in the anyway, sidetracked. I looked left and it was just his face, all with all the maggots crawling, and I was like, "Oh, hi."
Like Cillian Murphy.
Yeah. Oh, that man. That makes it okay, but yeah, it wasn't him sadly in the game.
Yeah.
Looked left, creepy, his face right up close to you. Looked right, and then the Joker was there. And then I looked left again, and there was no one. Then I looked right, and it just had the Joker trying to stab you. And I literally I threw the thing off and was just like, I don't want to play anymore. I'm good. And he was like, cool. Resident Evil didn't fuck me, but that did. Just seeing Joker's face there. No.
That's what usually gets people when stuff is just right up in your shit.
You're just like,
Because there's a massive jump scare. It's hard enough when
Yeah.
it's on a screen, but when it's like in your
your
eyes.
eyes, and you're just like, I can't. But yeah, I've not played any other spoopy games
Fair
in
enough.
like VR.
Oh, I haven't played it. VR makes me sick in general. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
I
can't
quite
do
enjoy it, but
Mm.
I've not.
It's good fun in some stuff, but
Yeah, I don't have one, so I can only play it when I go to my parents. And...
I have one. But in the summer, it gets too hot.
Oh
and it's
god,
on your
yeah, I
face.
can imagine sweaty,
Your face is just like
dripping of
Ah.
sweat. Cool. I've got a few games. I'll do quick mentions, and then there's one that I want to talk about properly.
Okay, go for
so
it.
there's one I watched Scary Game Squad play.
Okay,
it's like
yeah.
Jesse Cox and them lot, called Faith. And the only thing I love about it is just goes Mortis. And it's like it's that 2D
right.
flat
Yeah,
above
yeah.
game where you're a priest and you've got to go.
Mortis.
Yeah, that's it
I know
exactly.
exactly
Mortis.
what you mean.
That game, love it.
We'll do it one more time.
Mortis. It's completely wrong. I'm aware. But yeah, it's watch them play it.
Sure.
Fucking loved that game.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. It was gross. It was creepy. It was perfect what I wanted. There is a game, another one that I watched them play, which was Layers of Fear.
Oh yeah, Layers of Fear is
I
sick.
wanted to
yeah.
do a shout out for that because I've not played it. Would love to play it, but
Yeah.
don't think I could physically be the person play it, but would love to watch someone play it because
Sure.
I couldn't walk forward. Because I'd be like, that paint's moved, hasn't it? That draw's moved, hasn't it? Because obviously it's just him
Just
going
take
crazy.
you like 3 years to play it.
It would. It really would. I'd take pictures of every room as we go along on my phone. You'd be like, I can compare.
Yeah.
Compare notes. Anyway, because these are meant to be quick ones. There is like the whole Until Dawn, Man of Medan.
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
love playing them. They're
awesome.
just
'Cause you
fun.
play them as a group as well, and it was great. And Until Dawn, I remember watching that for the first time and being like, holy shit, this is like real gnarly.
It's
as
just
well.
like actually being involved in a horror film. And I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Not making stupid fucking decisions.
I mean, you can make those stupid
can make
decisions
them, but,
and
you
people
know.
will die.
Yeah, but I
Every
really
time.
love that. I can just be like, you're not a stupid ass bitch. You're gonna run left outside
Yeah.
and
We're gonna
escape.
live. We're gonna live.
Oh my god, what a thing!
But yeah, no, those,
all of those
games, are amazing.
I love
they
all
are
of them.
amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember trying to play one of the Man of Medan ones with my friend in Chicago who was trying to use like the streaming thing on
Oh god,
on
yes,
Steam,
where
and
you like
it wasn't
vote.
quite working in it, and
No.
it's just really laggy and fucked. But we were just having a good time with it and just
Yeah.
getting everyone killed. It was
One of the
funny.
latest ones is actually like really good because the Man of Medan one, specifically the boat one, bit shit.
The
It's
boat
the
one's
weakest
okay,
one
yeah.
out of my lot. I don't know. I found it really boring that one. But it's called, I think it's Ashes of something. Let me look at my phone. House of Ashes.
Okay.
And it's like it's got. They're going down into like Egypt's dungeons, like architects
Oh yeah, I've
one.
seen clips of that one.
That one is actually really good.
Yeah.
Out of all of them that I've seen and played, that one's my favourite so far. There's a new one, I
Yeah.
think it's called Devil Is In Me.
Ooh.
I know, I'm
Well, it
already
sounds like
invested.
you like that one.
But I think that's this year's one.
Okay, yeah. 'cause
That obviously not touched it.
the other one that we played was it reminds me of Silent Hill a little bit, like a witchcraft sort of.
Little Hope.
Yeah,
There
that's
we
the
go.
one.
So I wrote all the names
You wrote
down
them
on
all
me in
down,
front
nice.
of me.
Yeah,
So I was
that's
like,
got,
I know. Yeah, I've not played that one.
That one's pretty good actually,
heard
but it kind of
good
bugged
things.
out a little bit, which is unfortunate. But that one was actually pretty decent. It reminded me of Silent Hill quite a lot. It has like witchy sort of flashbacks
Fun.
and stuff. So yeah, that one was really nice. But yeah, those games are awesome. Awesome. Right, we're gonna go on to the films and finish it all
No.
off. Oh, you got one more, have
I've
you?
got my big one last
the
game.
one last one.
Is that okay?
Okey pokey.
Thank you.
Okie dokie. Dokie dokie.
Doki doki.
Go on, what have you got?
One more.
Okay.
So it's okay. I say one more word. Two. I'm gonna
Okay.
mention. I'm a cheater.
That's fine.
is
Because
it-
I've got so many films. It's
Cool.
all
I
good.
don't have really any films, so it's fine. So this is where I'm fucking it up. Anyway, there is. I play a lot of. I'm outing myself now to the world, which is embarrassing. But I play a lot of visual novels, as we all know. I really like interactive books.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know,
It's completely
right?
out of left
Right.
field.
Whoa.
Madness.
So there's one it's quite an old one. It's a series. I've only played the first one, but they're called the Nonnery games. And this one that is the first one is called Zero Escape, and it's very Squid Game like. But these came out I think like early 2000s, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And everyone's gifted a number between 1 and 9.
Okay.
And there's 9 rooms, 9 doors, 9 contestants.
Ooh.
And everyone's got like a watch that has one number on it.
Yeah.
And all the doors have one number on it. And you can only go in a door that adds to that total number.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So it's a puzzle survival game. So you've got to figure out how to escape.
Oh, sounds like my personal hell.
Right? Because it's all based in numbers. It's awful. All the puzzles, it's a click point game, but like all the puzzles are kind of number based or like finding things. And yeah, so if you find a door, you've got to pick like, okay, the door is number 7, but I'm number 3, so I can only go in there with someone who has like 5. Did you see the mental numbers there? Cool. So I can only go in there with someone named either number 5 or 2 and 3 can go in there with me. And you've got to pick who can go in what rooms to pass onto the next room and the next room, so people can't go through. So if the first door you come up to is number 1 and you're number 9, you have to wait until another door opens up or find another door that you can actually go through.
That sounds painful. For me, at least, it does. Yeah.
I'd love to see that as a TV show or a film.
Yeah,
but it's just that's my like little other game. But the main game, my personal favorite horror game, which is called The Letter.
The Letter. I think I've heard of that one before.
It's a visual novel. You play quite a few different characters, but the main character you play, she's an estate agent, and these really rich couple wants to sell their house. You go in there, you find out it's creepily haunted, and basically you play everyone who goes to the house, and you can choose how they react. So you do them all at the same time, essentially. So you play each chapter as a different person, which redoes the same event. And you change how each person acts to each other. So if you make a certain person hate someone but like them back, it will change the ending. So then you just watch the ending depending on the relationships you made people have.
Damn.
And then so you can decide who dies by this ghost, who lives, depending on the relationship they have.
Sort of like playing God as a ghost sort of thing.
Yeah,
I get that. That's cool.
And it's really, really fun because some of the interactions end up being not as you expect because you make someone like someone, but then they don't get reciprocated the like back or whatever.
I get you, yeah.
That's my favourite one.
Oh, really?
It's just really well visually drawn because it's quite a modern one. And it's one I've recommended to like even Poppy to play because it's on the Switch now. So it's like actually accessible to other people.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Switch is like, for visual novels, I just wish that it was cheaper because I can get them for like dirt cheap online on the PC. No, safely. You can just no. You can just, they're just a lot cheaper, like to buy on Steam or CD keys or whatever.
Usually are pretty stingy, so
yeah, like even I've played like normal, like even a little like that one, The Letter. It's like 15 quid I think on Steam. I think it's like 25 on Nintendo.
Yeah, it's a big jump.
And you're just there like, it's not what it's amazing. It is worth that, but I don't want to pay that because I'm not spending. How I pay games, I've got to spend that many hours per pound.
Oh, for
to
sure.
get my value out of a game, and I've only got 25 hours out of it because I've shown it to multiple people. I'm a quick reader.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like,
is it worth it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say 25. But there we go.
That's the great thing about Steam is you can get those deals going all the time.
Yes, all the time. So. There's always sales, and I've got my wish list full of visual novels. I am not paying £35 for a visual novel.
No.
Just because I will not get 35 hours out of it. I'll get like 10 at most. Most of them.
God, I bet your wish list is insane.
Oh, you want to look at it and see all that like smut on there? Go for it. There's 34 different ones I could tell you.
Yeah, I bet.
It's there's so many little smutty games that I want that only ever came out on the PSP because they're obviously Japanese and they only translated them because they're PlayStation on the PSP. Never owned a PSP, so never got to read half of them. No. So I'm trying to crack them on the PC, download them somewhere and have a translator while it's up. And not worth the effort, I'll be honest.
If I look at some of the trailers of some of your wish list, and it's like,
can that be a Patreon episode? Come look at Gemma's
my reactions to
weird...
your wish list. Yeah, God.
What about yours? Is your wish list all right? Would I be satisfied with your wish list?
It's a lot of VR stuff that I'm never ever going to play. So
Nice.
not that kind of VR. Come on.
That's what VR was invented for, though.
Yeah, with
So I'm the correct target market.
That's what Chicago always says to me. Yeah, I know he's listening as well because he does listen.
Hi.
Yeah, he loves that VR special time. I know you do.
Yeah, because VR was invented for horror and for porn.
The VR is for porn.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Boop.
Okay, let's round this baby off with some films then, shall we?
Films.
Well, I'll do one first, and then you can have a good splurge.
Thanks. All over your face again.
I won't have a face left after this.
No, it's fine. We've got tissues somewhere.
Just wipe it off with
Biscuits.
chocolates.
Oh, there we go.
Soggy biscuit time.
Soggy
Excellent. Soggy pumpkin. Halloween special.
Halloween special.
Fucking hell.
You're up.
Yeah. Well, Silent Hill's on there again because it's one of my favourite horror films, and I'm so sad I haven't been able to show it to you guys yet because it's amazing.
I know.
It's so true to the game, and it does an incredible job.
I just remember to wear my giant onesie so one knows that I've pissed myself when we're watching it.
I think I'm gonna have to buy like the DVD of it so I can like stick it in the Xbox.
Okay, remind me. I'll ask around at work because everybody at work is like film buffs and they all have DVDs.
Oh, okay.
So I'll see if anyone of them have it before you buy it.
All right. I mean, I've probably got it somewhere lurking at
That's
home as
true.
well, knowing me. Starship Troopers is on there, but
Wait,
I'm not.
Starship Troopers is a wait.
I mean, it's
What's Starship?
it's more sci-fi than it is horror, but it's got bugs. It's very gruesome,
I don't
and
think I've seen it. Because all I'm getting when you say that is I'm getting Star Trekking across the universe, always going forward, never reverse.
fucking hell. No,
it's not
not like
that,
that,
is
at
it?
all. No, it was a book first, and then it was turned to a load of films. But the first one was my favorite, and it's gruesome as hell. And I saw it when I was way too young, and I love it. It's visceral, and the music's incredible, and it's just a great story of humans killing bugs, alien bugs, and just going insane.
Is it like Doom-esque with the chicka chicka with the big chunky guns?
Yeah. There's thousands of these arachnid things basically, and they're storming, and it's just like
She's sweating with the big muscles.
yeah, iconic lines, perfect. I love it. And then one that really got me when I was younger was I showed you Evil Dead. Dead was one of my favourites without a doubt.
There's a new Evil Dead that came out this year.
Yeah, there is actually. My friend Steve said he saw it and it's actually pretty good. Because there was another remake like 5 or 6 years ago as well, and that was decent too. But those original 3, the first one and then the second one that got kind of remade.
Yep.
But it's really goofy at the same time.
I was going to say because we've just watched the second one.
Yeah, we haven't seen the third one yet, but that's one of my favourites. That's to come, and
I'm excited.
I adore that film so much. The practical effects, the goofiness, and just all of it is so good, so good. Okay, you go.
Okay, I haven't got many films, and most of them aren't really that spoopy either.
Yeah.
So I have, when we first started doing our horror movies, the thing I was like, everyone, my favourite horror, aka with the abbreviating hand symbols, is Underworld.
Oh, yeah,
which is thriller. It's vampire versus werewolf. It's horror. It's horror.
It is.
I love it. She looks great. Oh, yeah, she kills it. But then with actual recent horror films, because Liam's been showing us some as well before we did our horror movie films, was It Follows.
Oh yeah.
He showed us that, and I fucking love that film.
It's a decent film. I like it. I do like it a lot. It's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
And,
just always forever like. Where is it?
It's
very
it's
Black
an original
Mirror.
idea. Yeah, for sure. And
I thoroughly enjoyed
that.
that.
They didn't make it tacky in the way that the special effects, like, because obviously it's invisible and you can't see it. And, no, they did a really decent job with that one, for sure.
And then another one, again, most of these are going to be like, Liam showed me, because he's like a massive, and I I go to him for like, I want this type of film, give me something. I think we popped around to his house, and he was like, started watching it, and we just finished watching it with him. It was called Children of the Corn.
Oh, that's an old school
one.
Because
there's quite a few versions of it.
Oh, yeah.
But it was the 1984, the proper old school one, and I'll be honest, it's probably one of my favourite films.
Yeah.
It's so shit, but so
There's something special about
fucking
those
good.
old shitty special
with
films.
I
Those
don't
horror
know, that
films,
redhead boy in the checkered shirt with his facial I don't know, I loved it. That was just
It's delicious.
yeah. And then a more modern one, it's not really, again, it's not spoopy scary jump scare horror,
Yeah.
but Annihilation.
I love Annihilation.
Yeah.
That's a great with old
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman.
That woman.
I think he said Nicole Kidman. That's wrong. And then I was about to just say Padme from Star Wars.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was just gonna call
yeah.
Padme.
Natalie
Yeah,
Portman.
That's great. Oh, that scene with the bear. Oh,
I love
and it's calling out in a human sort of voice.
where she's going like help or whatever in her voice, after it's eating it. But my favourite bits in it is the trees, the human shaped plants, because again I
They all
love
grow
woods.
into
And then there's the girl who chooses to become
one
one because it's all aliens.
They all take over their mind, and she's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna be a tree.
I'm gonna be a tree
Shit.
because that's that.
God, that ending is nuts, isn't it? Oh.
The lighthouse because it's aliens.
Yeah.
Ooh, spooky.
Ah, that was that. Yeah.
Fun
Awesome
fact.
film.
I can drop that in. Barkeep worked on that film.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
He
Yeah,
did.
It was all on the beaches.
So he's seen and up close and personal with Natalie Portman because it was on the beaches in Norfolk.
That's right.
So that was he got.
Getting burnt.
He's got the. He's still got it. This is years ago, obviously. Like if you look at his wrist, the tan line of his watch is still there from just being out on the beach for 3 days straight. It was worth it. I was like, dude, go for it.
Yeah, I love that film.
That film,
for sure.
it's like it's not spoopy horror.
It's a visual treat. It really is. Oh, it's beautiful.
I love that film.
It's beautiful.
And then Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh,
It's one of my favourite with the
matey with the
with the hands.
eyes.
He's just so creepy. He's one of my favourite monsters of all time.
He really is. Oh, that is a spooky ass film.
Yeah.
Just eerie
Just
and
the whole vibes.
Del Toro, what an absolute genius. He really is. Really is. Like that is it's delicious. Delicious.
I have one film left.
Okay.
And
Do your last film and I'll spurge
it all
out.
I'm ready. Spurge on me time. Yay! My favourite time of day. It's called Orphan.
Yeah, I see them.
And it's based, obviously, because it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just really liked. I didn't know it was a true story till after I had watched the film, because I enjoyed the film, and obviously then looked into the research of the real story, and obviously that was way worse. And then I learned today that they've released another Orphan, like another version of it the other year, and before they released that, another story of that happened in India, because the first original one was based of like 11 or 13-year-old girl in Norway. This was someone who adopted a kid who was in India, and they tried to kill the parents and all that jazz because it was actually a dwarfism person.
Oh, really?
Who had aged. And
Cheeky bastard.
Yeah, so it was like, but those stories are way more gruesome than the films.
Yeah.
The films are technically quite tame.
Yeah, compared to the actual
storying of what happened. But I just quite enjoyed the concept of Orphan. That was fun.
No, it's a great film. It's a great film.
So, done. That's the only films I've watched.
Okay, well, I'll speed run a few, and then I'll dip further into the ones that I really adore.
Let's go. I've probably watched one of them.
So, obviously, there's the Nightmare on Elm Streets and the Jason films, but Freddy versus Jason.
Not seen it.
It's one of those stupid but
that's all I've
enjoyable
heard.
films. I love that film so much. Just when like 3D sort of stuff in horror really started.
It was
coming.
3D.
Yeah. It was so stupid, but I love that film so much. The Final Destination films, I adore those as well. Like Final Destination 2 is my favorite, and then the end one that they did, which was, well, spoiler, it ended up being a prequel to the first one. So. I don't think I've watched all of the Final Destinations. I've watched most. I love them. They have really fucked me up. They made me not going elevators for a while. Yeah, yes, that's all twos. Two did the most damage to people with the logs on the fucking truck and the elevator thing. It was the elevator and the eye surgery. What, where it darts all around on her eye? Yeah, I think that's number 3 or 4. That one really fucked me up. Can't quite remember, but yeah, I love those films. I really enjoyed the racetrack one. Oh, with the NASCAR. Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that one. That's the thing. It's just good fun and like gory sort of bullshit. And it's like the Saws. Yeah, well, that's on there as well. Like, 'cause I used to watch those with my sister a lot. I saw Saw 7.
in the cinema. Yeah, 7.
Yeah. Well,
One of
they've done up to 10 now.
I
10
know. I
was
have
released.
seen that there's 10. I was like, what?
I've seen all of them except for 8 and 9, and now 10. So I'm really behind on my Saw, which makes me very sad. But I watched so many of them with my sister, and I loved it. Like Saw 2 and 3 are my favorite, without a doubt.
I don't know which my favorites are.
I mean, the Saw 1 was incredible because like that whole twist they had at the end where he gets up.
He's like, I was fine all along.
Rips his fire. Game over. Yeah, it's great. It's great. But there's so many stupid twists in those films. They just get so out of hand. It's great.
I can't remember which. I enjoyed the one, whichever one was just them in a circle, and they all had to have their hand in it.
It's like 6 or 5, I think.
Yeah, I enjoyed that scene. And I also, because there's a Saw game.
Yeah.
And I remember watching my mum play that, and that was hilarious because my mum doesn't generally. She plays like Spyro and all of those games. And that one, I'll give her that. The controls, shit.
Oh yeah, it didn't look like it was very on point.
And she did really pretty good at that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, the that was apparently real. When they filmed with it, it was a real working.
And what, they just had like a mannequin sort of thing, or?
No, they just had certain clips on it, so it wouldn't trigger.
Oh right.
But it was real.
I mean, they look amazing. All the little traps look incredible.
Yeah.
I love the Saw films. I love them. I got the Thing, the old one, the 1982 one that I was talking about, because that's just some of the best prosthetic sort of stuff and practical.
Gross.
Imagery that I've ever seen in my life. It's insane. It's insane. I can't believe that. It's like they redid it, and they did it with all CGI, and it's
disappointing.
It was good, but it's just a very different vibe. But when it's visceral and you can see it and it looks real, like they absolutely killed it. It's just disgusting, and it just gets me going. It really gets me going. I've got Babadook on here. Which
what the fuck is that?
It's about this woman and her crazy little child who's just insane, and they get this book one day, and it's just like kind of nursery rhyme, but it's like you can't get rid of the Babadook, and it's just this horrible sort of like top hat sort of creature that just stalks you once you read the book, and it's kind of like The Ring, I guess, but you read a book instead, and then it starts fucking with you, and she gets possessed, and it all goes downhill, but. It was just the bits where, just certain bits in the film where it'd be lurking around, and the noises it would make, and they would just be like, "You can bring me the boy, you can bring me the boy," and it would work into my head real good, and that got me real good, that one. But I got 2 more. Got Beau is Afraid on there, which is the newest one by Ari Aster.
Okay.
And it's like 3 and a bit hours long, and it's one of the most anxiety-inducing films I've ever watched in my entire life. It was the one that I showed Liam recently.
Oh, I understand.
And we were just like, and it's like, I'm not ready. Are you ready for what's in the attic? It's like, you're not ready. What's in the attic? And it was just, you're seeing it from, I think, Joaquin Phoenix. He's the main actor.
I love him.
He's great.
So much. There's a film coming out with him soon. Since we're talking about films, I really want to watch Neapolitan.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's an absolute boss actor, but he kills it in that, and it is...
Joker.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
Joker is insane as well.
One of my favourite films now.
Absolutely killed it. I love seeing little interviews with him where he's just like so uncomfortable and just...
Socially awkward. I'm like, I feel you, boo. I feel you.
But yeah, Beau is Afraid is like, a lot of people didn't like it, and I imagine... all the normies who went to go see it in the cinema would be pissed off because like it is just madness. Oh god, I don't know what's happening.
I've only heard triplets from you. Triplets? Driblets? I don't know. Words upon from YouTube seeing it. I'm just like,
Words.
No, I don't want to know.
Words.
I don't want to know anything about that film.
It's madness. It's pure madness, and I loved it. I really did. It made me just feel awful and just like the entire time. And then I'm gonna end it with another Ari Aster film, which is Hereditary. Which
another one. I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, which was one of the ones like his kind of debut breakout sort of film that came out, and it's one of the newer horror films that kind of really get in under your skin, and it's amazing. I really enjoy it. The music's incredible, the acting is on point, and it's very psychological. It gets up in you, and then it ends in an incredible way. So I have a lot of love for Hereditary and just Ari Aster in general. So I love the horror. I love it so much. It's a huge part of my life, and I can't live without it. I love the spook. Getting a good
Get
spook
the
on.
spook on. I find most horror films have fucking good plots. You gotta have good reasons to scare you. I am gonna bring up the one horror film I was talking away that I think I could bring up is X that we watched.
Oh yeah.
Fucking loved that. That was a great
X
film.
was great. I mean, it's
need
a
to
bit
watch-
of a spoiler, but that end bit where like she twitches and the guy gets a heart attack. Just scares him to death. That cracked me up so much.
We need to watch Pearl whenever we have
yeah.
our next movie night, because that's obviously come out and that's the prequel to X or
Oh,
whatever.
for sure, yeah. Pearl looks amazing as well. Like
And
that
it's still
actress
Mia Goth.
looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to show you guys Hereditary, but I think it would I don't know if Jake is ready for that.
We'll build slowly. I might not have the patience for it, but we'll see. We'll try. Do it in stigments.
Yeah.
Stigma. Oh, I'll say it. I've lost my
done.
words.
We're
done.
done.
I can't speak,
We're
guys.
done.
I'm too scared. I'm scared.
We're spooked out to the max.
Spooky. I
We're
hope.
spurged all over
We're
the place.
spurged everywhere. We're spurged on you guys. We're spurged on each other.
All in our ears.
Yeah, in your ears, on the pumpkins.
In and around your mouths. I appreciate you guys if you've got this far and listened with us.
We love
It's
you.
a bit longer, but
It's a special episode
we
to
love
our
a horror.
hearts.
Yeah, we're horror buffs. We love it. We love it.
And we love you.
We've had a superb time. I hope you have too.
And I hope you have a very happy Halloween.
Yes, indeed. A spooky goodbye.
All right, you sorry lot. Drink up, we're closing.